Welcome to the world of exploration. Welcome to the world of learning. Let's start exploring. Let's start learning. This is your very own educators, teacher, philosopher, guide, mentor, friend, preacher, one and all. And this is the one stop destination wherein we all can connect together and wherein we can form beautiful and profound bonds, right? So, what are we waiting for? Let's get started, right? So, in today's session, I'm basically gonna cover the interview, right? Which is written by Christopher Sylvester. So you should be thorough by now, uh, of the names of the chapters and of the names of the writers. Now, when we talk about what is it type or we can say what is a genre. So it is basically nonfiction. That means we are gonna deal with extracts from interviews. So in this chapter, in this lesson, basically we are gonna dive deep into the recesses, and then we are gonna have a look at the extracts. Now, what do you understand by extracts, or what do you decipher when I say extracts, when I make use of this word extracts? Basically, it's an excerpt, right? So an extract is basically an excerpt. So when I'm saying extract, that means this portion has been taken, right? So now we are going to deal with extracts from interviews, right? From different interviews of different people, of course, right? Now, this is prepared by me, Sukriti Joshi, ma'am. I'm basically a PhD. I'm PhD English, so I have 5 years, approximately 5.5 years of teaching experience, and I have been the AHE, that is the assistant head coordinator, like in coordination part. So I have been the AHE, assistant head examiner, right? In coordination part, and yeah, and let's get started. What are we waiting for, right? All right. Now, we get to see what do we mean or what do we understand by interviews. So interviews have become a common and a powerful medium in journalism. So see, in mass comm, in journalism, what do we see? What do we see when anchors are, they are um doing their anchoring, or when you see the news reporters, you might be getting fascinated by it, by the professioning, by how they approach people, how they want to know more about the lives of people, and how they want to discuss, and they want to basically intrude, or invade the personal lives of, it could be either celebrities, or it could be, so we are talking with the reporters, right? Wanting to know more about, wanting to go in depth about the lives of, it could be about writers, it could be about novelists, it could be about painters, it could be uh, about actors and actresses, right? So uh which all of you, I'm sure, and I can definitely relate with, right? So in Poets and Pancakes, so you can relate Poets and Pancakes as well. So you might be, you're thinking about the Gemini studio, and how Asoka Mitrin had woven the tapestry of it. And herein we are talking about that how the interviewed, this lesson, this chapter is gonna deal with both the, is going to show us, it's going to reflect, and it's going to act as a kind of a mirror in order to showcase what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages, and according to whom and which lens do people uh, basically do people basically see it from, right? So it could be both. So it depends on the attitude, and it also depends on the personal choice of an individual, right? So for example, right now, if I am an actress, right, a renowned actress, and w- I feel that my privacy is being intruded, but being a social figure, I'll have to give my interviews, right? Um I'll be I will definitely have to come out of my comfort zone and give the interviews. So I'll be obliged. But uh on the other hand, uh I can basically, if I want if I want to grow my audience, if I want people to like me and appreciate my efforts and appreciate what I'm doing, it could be about anything, it could be about teaching as well. So if I want you guys to like my videos, to give it a thumbs up, and to subscribe to my channel, so I will definitely try my best, and my level best, and I will work very hard in making the content, or in bringing the content in front of you, or in teaching you people, right, in a smarter way, so that you can, along with keeping in mind that how associations can actually act, uh, um basically can be pivotal in your journey of learning, in this journey, or in this odyssey of learning, right? So basically you can contact us at this number, uh and this is our English curricle, the odyssey of education, right? Now, interviews have become a common and powerful medium in journalism. They can reveal truth, personality, and opinions of famous people, right? Of famous people. Some people consider interviews intrusive, as I've mentioned before in this video of mine. Some people could consider interviews as a violation of privacy, right? For example, an encroachment, right? Or intruding into someone else's boundary and trying to look what is happening. Oh, you might have you might have seen those people, like neighbors, or people who really want to know about your marks, how much have you scored, how well you are doing, how well you are performing, all that stuff. So they will keep on asking you, how much marks did you score, how are you doing, how are you performing. So they could be your well wishers, they could be asking you for that reason, or it could be in order to just get a glimpse of your life, or get a glimpse of um the part of your, or the portion of your life, right? So it could be a violation of privacy, a form of immortality. Now this is, I would call it hyperbole, because it's a kind of an exaggeration that has been used. So a form of immortality, that means that, for example, the writer is now considering that how it could, interviewing people. For example, I had we have paparazzi, right, in Bollywood. And I had seen that how Ritik Roshan had once said that he just hates his. I think it was Ritik Roshan only, um, or some actor was there. I'm forgetting the name of that actor, but whatever. So some actor, I guess it was Ritik Roshan, who said that he doesn't like to, he doesn't like to be interviewed, and uh he doesn't want to be interviewed for anything. He thinks that his personal space is being encroached or violated, right? Or his that's intrusive, right? It's not good to to cross one's person, to cross one's boundary, and uh, look at one's personal space, right? So this is a major term that we come across, a form of immorality, not immortality. It is immorality. right? So immorality, that means um they don't have any morals, because a person who doesn't have any morals, according to him, um we can call that person without it having any morals, values, ethics. That person can only intrude, that person can only encroach, right? And ask, can have the guts to ask such questions about the personal lives or about the portion of one's life, right? um on the other hand, we get to see, just a second, yeah, on the other hand, we get to see how others see interviews as. So now we have, see, we have, you can divide the masses into two portions or into two parts. One who just dislike being interviewed, or going in for interviews. For example, these celebrities nowadays in Bollywood, they just they just have to go and attend, they have to attend parties, they have to go in for interviews. As onlookers, we might think, that it's very easy, right? It's very easy for them to just hang out, to just go in for parties, but it's not. To just go in for to just interview, to just go in for interviews and giving interviews. No, it's not. It's very difficult. It's very hard, you know. So, but people don't see that. People don't see that uh, that difficulty, or that the kind of problems that they face. So others see interviews, so that's the one part, or the one portion of people, the masses. And the second portion of people, or the masses, see interviews as democratic, as informative, as necessary for public awareness. So they see that it is actually very, very important and crucial, imperative, so to say, that holding such interviews is very, very imperative and necessary for public awareness. So if you want people to be aware about something, for example, see, if I want, um for example, I'm running one school, right? I'm a teacher, and I'm an educator, I'm a preacher, right? And I'm an educator, right? So I am holding an interview, right? And it is an interview. I'm holding an interview for you students, right? For you people, for you people. So in that interview, I would be getting to know a lot about you guys. So I'll be coming to know, for example, a uh, uh a likes to eat chocolate, a likes to eat ice cream, a likes to study during afternoon, b likes to uh play cricket, or b likes to watch movies, C likes to study and then play and then have a cup of coffee, or and then they and D likes to have a cup of tea and uh, and just chill, right? And then study and then just go to sleep, right? So uh I, through this, what is my objective? My objective is to come to know about A person, about B person, about C person, about D person. So this is just an example. It's just like we do case studies. So this is like a case study, right? That we are doing case studies for people. So others see interviews as democratic. Why democratic? Because you have the freedom to um uh democratic. What do you understand by the term democratic in social science? Also, you might have come across this word. So this word basically means um democracy is basically when you have the freedom to speak what is there in your mind. So you speak the truth, you are telling the truth, you cannot you cannot lie about your lives. Even if the point at which you will lie, everybody will come to know, because as celebs also, if you will lie, people will come to know, because there are fans who are following them throughout, and throughout the lives of these celebrities, throughout their thick and thin moments of their lives. Fans have been with them, so they know exactly what and when, and because they're public figures, so their lives are just public. Because we teachers are also public figures now. We are also in the uh, eyes of you guys. So uh if you if I say something today and if I say something tomorrow, and there is no connection between what I say today and what I say tomorrow, then you will come to know that I'm like, right? So you have to be very, very cautious. That's why some people dislike, you know interviews, because you cannot lie. People will come to know a lot about you. People will come to know a lot about your lives, how you stay, what you eat, how where you go. For example, paparazzi and all these, I don't know what all, but they just go wherever celebrities go. For example, gym, whether it be some sort of party, um or it could be what's in your bag segment, what's in my purse segment, or what's in my anything. It could be anything segment, right? So and others, while others also see it as informative, because as masses you would also like, I guess, most of the people are very much interested in seeing what's there in what's there in Sonam Kapoor's bag, and what's there in um um Ali Bhatt's bag, or what's there in Katrina Kaif's bag or purse, whatever you may call it, right? So yeah. And guys, one more thing that you need to keep in mind: contact us. In each and every slide I have mentioned contact us. I have given the number below. English Curricle, the Odyssey of Education, your one-stop destination. Guys, remember that, right? All right. Then we'll move on to the next slide. Herein, we are talking about the views about interviews, right? So views about interviews. Wow, that rhymes. All right. So important points, we are going to discuss about the important points. So interviews can shape public opinion. So interviews can actually shape. So when you are taking, suppose this is I have a mic, right, which I do have. Although now it's very, very expensive. I had also purchased it, like it was very expensive, but now it's too, I mean, yeah. So if, for example, if I this is my mic, right? And interviews can shape public opinion. So I'm an interviewer and you are an interviewee, and I'm taking your interview, right? Or you can do vice versa. You are an interviewee, you are an interviewer and I'm an interviewee, and you are taking my interview. So interviews can actually shape public opinion. So if you, as my student A, will interview me, right? Your educator, your teacher, your philosopher, your guide, your mentor, your preacher, right? Your guru, you would shape the public opinion as well. Because I would be answering, I would be responding to your questions, I would be giving you responses, right? Based on my responses, the public, the other students, B, C, D, E, F, G, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, all of them would be, and many more, etc., etc., right? They would be shaping their opinion, they would be carving their opinion on the basis of what I have said, right? Celebrities often resent interviews. Celebrities don't like interviews, they often resent interviews, they often dislike interviews, they often hate interviews, right? uh Yet interviews document his history. Yet when, please observe the word yet over here. It is a very, very important word that you need to keep in your mind, right? Yet yet interviews. So we get to see, yet interviews document history. Yet, but, that stands for but. One second, hold on, right? Hold on. Interviews document history because it is possible only through interviews, because it is verbal, right? um it is verbal, and you can actually document history. You can actually, because how do we know about a lot of people? We know about uh, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, because of the history that we know today. And how do we know about them and about their history? We know about them and about their historical or achievements or historical accomplishments because of the interviews that were taken, right? Yeah. Then we come on to interview of Umberto Eco. Now, this is the major part that we have to cover, right? So, interview of Umberto Eco. So, interviewer herein would be Mukund Padma Nabham. Padmanabham. Padmanabham, right? It's Padmanabham, right? So, interviewer would be Padman Mukund Padmanabham, right? Stress on the word bham, right? So interviewer would be Mukund Padmanabham, and interviewee, the person who would be giving interview to the interviewer, who is Mukund Padmanabham, would be Umberto Eco, right? Who is an Italian novelist and a philosopher. So, who is Italian philosopher? Who is Italian novelist and philosopher? It is Umberto Eco, right? Umberto, because obviously we know Mukund cannot be an Italian name. It is an Indian. It is of Indian origin, right? Mukund and Padmanabham too, right? It's obviously we come to know, right? Umberto Eco is the Italian novelist and philosopher. Now, there are certain key discussion points, right? There are certain key discussion points. Eco, not economics. Eco does not stand for economics, but yeah, you can definitely associate it with your economic subject. The way you guys say eco, so you can definitely associate with that, because it is always better to link things so that your memory, and you are able to it, recollect, and you are able to remember things easily because you have drawn a connection, right, between them. So Umberto Eco explains how he manages to write academic works and novels together, right? So he basically is explaining how he writes both his academic works and novels together. So he calls this ability as interstices theory, using, so now he is basically calling this ability, right, as a kind in there are according to him, there are interstices, right? Now, what do you understand by interstices? It's a very, 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 fab. I must say, it's a fabulous formation of the word as well as formation of the concept as well, which is intriguingly like fabricated by the writer. So he calls this ability an interstice theory, wherein basically we are making wherein basically we get to see that how eco make uses small gaps, uses small gaps in order to take out time and right. Clear? So using small gaps of wherein Umberto Eco is making use of small gaps in order to write. So with the help of time, so he's actually managing time. So even in his in even so, for example, you guys come to school daily on a daily basis, right? You guys attend my lectures on a daily basis. So after attending my lectures, you might be taking break of 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then you might be moving on to any other subject that you feel, so that you can relax. But in that 5 minutes, it's necessary also for you guys to take break. I'm not denying that fact, definitely. But what happens is that when you are not studying, and when you are you're entirely free and you have time at your disposal, then you can definitely make use of that time. How? Well, when you are traveling, instead of getting annoyed by the traffic, make use of that time, utilize that time. While going to school, while coming back from school, make use of that time, use it properly, study, right? Study. If you start, if you start doing like if you start doing that, if you start studying like that, definitely I'm 100% sure that you guys, and especially being my students, you guys can definitely score above 98%, right? So in English especially. So interstice theory is basically when you are going in a lift, right? Making use of that time properly, adequately. Um, Even if you have 5 minutes, right? Even if you have 2 minutes, right? Or 5 minutes, you can utilize it. You instead of scrolling and going through Instagram reels or Snapchat, or what other platforms are there? Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, you know, or this TikTok, or whatever platforms are there. Instead of going through these platforms, you can actually uh, go in for other educational platforms, or you can instead study from your book, or see something that enhances your knowledge, or that boosts up your spirit, right? So, or that boosts up your confidence, right? So uh in his now in his book, he basically talks about his novel, The Name of the Rose. His interest in semiotics and the role of the reader in interpreting text. So what is the role of the reader in reader basically? The role of the reader is basically to interpret what is the role of the reader in interpreting a text. So for example, I'm a reader, right? uh, I will not say I'm an avid reader, but yeah, definitely I'm a reader. Um, because I'm a teacher, so I have to read, definitely. Um, but otherwise I wasn't a studious student, but definitely a hardworking child, right? I was definitely a hardworking child, yeah. So it actually depends on the subject, yeah. So his interest in semiotics and the role of the reader in interpreting a text. So, how do you interpret a text? So, it actually depends on how you see a particular text. For example, let's take a thing of beauty. So, how do you interpret a thing of beauty, which is a fabulous, which is an incredible poem written by John Keats? So, how do you interpret it? So, it depends upon you guys. How do you interpret Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, um, which is written by Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, which is written by Adrian Rich. Again, a fabulous work of art and of experience, I would say. Uh, so yeah, how do you? So it actually talks about that, and his interest in semiotics. Again, it is obviously related with literature and language. It is basically related to language semiotics, right? The meaning of language, and so it's because you have morphemes, you have semiotics, you have morphology, you have um, so this is there in your linguistic paper, right? That you'll get to know in your MA, right? When you're done with your MA. So his novel, The Name of the Rose, is also there. So you can read The Name of the Rose, which is written by him. You'll get a better no you'll get a better insight into it, and you'll get to know what kind of nuances does he make use of, right? Then we come on to, yeah, so do not forget, I'm again and again, emphasizing and, again and again reiterating the same thing, that you have to contact on this number, given number, English Gurukul, the Odyssey of Education. That is the one-stop destination for you guys and for me to connect together and to form a beautiful bond and to um um achieve excellence. Then we come on to the character sketch of, obviously, of this beautiful lesson, that is the interview. Umberto Eco, highly intellect. So we get to see that how Umberto Eco is highly intellectual, right? Uh, he is a disciplined writer, and he's a very disciplined writer. He's humble and humorous. He's humble at the same time. He's humorous too. So he is down to earth, but humor. He has a very good sense of humor too. He believes writing is a serious intellectual exercise, and he has this innate belief in himself that writing is basically a serious intellectual exercise. So everybody, Tom, Dick, and Harry cannot write. Like, I'm just citing an example over here. So it's not a cup of tea for example, there is this X person, there's this Y person. If they are not so interested or interested towards writing or towards uh, if they don't have that passion, if they don't have that inclination towards writing or literature, they won't be able to. It's not a cup of tea for, one, for an individual. You have to have that kind of intellect to think, to ponder over, right? So that's what he's suggesting. That's what he's saying over here, that he believes writing is a serious intellectual exercise. Then we come on to the themes and power of media. So media does possess a huge role, a huge a huge role in exercising, and it does exercise its power, right? So it does use its power in order to intrude into someone's personal space, right? uh so public versus private life. So we get to see public versus private life. Now, public, that how celebrities are they lead a public life, how we as teachers lead a public life, how everyone basically, in from my perspective, from my lens, I think with it could be a businessman, it could be a teacher, it could be, we teachers are gurus. it could be a doctor, it could be anyone. We all are leading pri- this public lives, right? So we all definitely want our private lives as well, individual lives, right? We don't want that, beyond a certain limit or beyond a certain time, somebody should encroach that precious time from us, or should take away that precious time, because time is very precious, and once it's gone, it will never come back, right? So role of interviews in modern society, what do you understand by the role of interviews in modern society, especially if we talk about modern society, and if we talk about 21st century, which is now. Interviews are now the core, are at the core, and they are definitely not gonna go away. And right now, all the celebrities and everyone, mm, you know they're just giving interviews. They're you know going, sometimes they're going to Goa, sometimes they're traveling to Canada, sometimes they're traveling to Dubai, sometimes they're traveling to London, sometimes they're traveling to Mumbai, sometimes they're traveling to Delhi, sometimes to Chennai, so on and so forth, right? Again, I'm emphasizing the same thing. Um, then we come on to that you need to contact us on this number, and you need to come to this destination, English curricle, the Odyssey of education, right? Then we come on to intellectual discipline and creativity. So we talk about how intellectual discipline is very important and is at the core again. And uh, creativity is very, very important for intellect to harness and to basically bloom, right? So creativity is the foundation of the intellect, right? So then we come on to the interview important question. Oh, sorry, quotations. What is happening with me? So we come on to the important quotations, right? So our ability to speak has made us superior to animals. Now, these are certain quotations that have been taken uh, from the interview, from the excerpts and the extracts, right? So our ability to speak has made us superior to animals, right? I'm a university professor who writes novels on Sundays. An interview is a source of truth. So obviously, I have discussed that how an interview is supposed to be a source of truth, is supposed to be a kind of, it's because it's enigmatic too. So it's majestic, there's this majestic there's this wonder that is associated with it, that, oh, what is happening in one's life, like people like to gossip, right? So they want to know about each other's lives, and they want to know about each, they just pinpoint what is happening in her life, what is happening in his life. So that's the main thing. So yeah. All right. So then we come on to the end of the session. So with this, I would love to end the session, right? And just give me a second. Yeah. So, with this, I would love to come to the end of this session. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Do like, share, subscribe to my channel. This is Sukriti Joshi, your very own educator, teacher, philosopher, guide, mentor, friend, preacher, guru, one and all. And that's it from my end. Hope you liked it. Guys, now your exams are just around the corner, so I just want you people to focus on your studies. Focus on, these are the uh, additional tips that I am giving it to you. So like interstice was like interstice theory has been given. you also now have to be, you have to gear up, you have to tighten up your belts, and you just have to be there, show up, no matter, just rub off the dust. E- even if even if you have uh, fallen down, just get up, dress up, show up, and yeah, definitely you are gonna rock it. And show, that's the major show, right? So if you show yourself, the show will begin, right? So you have to take moments out, you have to take time out in order to study, right? And for that, the responsibility is with you only, because you are the one who can take time out of uh, in order to study, right? So just forget about any sort of birthday or marriage or any other aspect. I'm not saying that detach yourself from your family or from your friends, but focus on your studies. With this, I would love to end the session. This is Sukriti Joshi ma'am signing off. Till then, what you are supposed to do is you are supposed to contact on this number. You are supposed to keep that in mind, that English Gurukul, the Odyssey of education, is the one-stop destination for all of you and for me too. With this, bye bye. I would like to sign off. Bye bye. Namaste. Jai Shri Krishna. Radhe Radhe. Thank you.